might be some people in here who don't know what I'm talking about. Kerrville is an 18-day-long folk festival, Kerrville Folk Festival, that happens out in Kerrville, Texas. And in a lot of ways, it's responsible for us meeting for the first time and kind of bonding. And I don't know, for me, it had a huge impact on like who I am as a musician and a writer, and it's probably got a lot to do with why I live in Austin, Texas now. And this next tune kind of grew straight out of that. The first year I came to Kerrville, it was in 2008, and I went all 18 days, and I loved it so much that when I heard there was a fall festival, I came back 3 months later, and I went to the Wine and Music Festival over Labor Day. And I had to fly straight back from that up to the Northeast, where I had some tour dates booked, and I was driving from upstate Vermont into upstate New York across this big lake, taking a ferry, and my brain was just steeped in like these beautiful songs, and especially a tradition of using songs to tell other people's stories. So on that drive, I was listening to a story on NPR that was about something that they were really struggling with in 2008, which was immigration. And luckily we fixed that now. And I was younger then, as we all were, in 2008, and it was sort of my first time through an election cycle as a young adult, like really absorbing all the media and paying attention to everything. And now I'm older and a bit more cynical, and I realize that unfortunately immigration is sort of a perennial issue that they continue bringing up around elections, and it's always election season these days. But back then, I didn't know that yet. And I was particularly moved by an interview that I heard with a man who was working with immigrants who were being deported. And he was sharing their stories on the radio. And it was, as I was listening to these stories from people that he was translating for, I just heard story after story after story from people who were here working hard to send money home to their loved ones. And it just occurred to me on that long drive, fresh with my Kerrville energy running through my bones, that if someone's here working hard to send money home to the people they love most in the world, then they don't get to see the people they love most in the world for months, for years. Sometimes they never know when they're going to see them again. Not only that, but they don't really get to enjoy the fruits of their labor. They're sending all that money home to these people that they love so much that they're sacrificing the ability to have their companionship at the end of the day. And that just struck me in that moment as a really noble sacrifice and a really beautiful act of love. So I wanted to write a song for that act of love. And I figured, you know, couldn't hurt to write an upbeat jig about U.S. immigration policy. Folk singer needs one. So that's where this tune comes from. It's called Margarita. When I leave, I'll leave the sun hanging straight up in the sky. Leave the apples in their baskets, let them rot, turn wine. The cold averted glances, the fear in my bones. When I'll leave along our man who trips behind a shed. Bundles in my mattress and the shaking of their heads, and I will fare thee well to no one. I'll disappear. Margarita, you're the reason I've been up at dawn. Margarita, you're the reason I've been holding on. Margarita, you're the queen of every beggar's son. Margarita. When I leave, I'll leave completely with a suitcase full of cash. I'll cross every border and I will take every breath till we're standing in a chapel and we're making promises. Oh, girls in blue dresses and the boys in baseball caps. Answer every question, we'll dance till every last. Rob yourself a cloudless sunny day. The sky grew thick with thunder. The birds all flew away. They shackled us like killers. We walked in single file. And Margarita, they've been talking, but I ain't heard a word. No, I've been dreaming you could see me in my cell of steel and dirt, hidden from that sun, hanging straight up in the sky. I've been plucked like an apple left to rot, turned wine. Margarita, you're the reason I've been a bad thorn. Margarita, you're the reason I've been holding on. Margarita, you're the freedom ever beside Margarita. Oh, Margarita, Margarita.